What is up, people, and welcome back to another video. This is part 4 of What Remains of Edith Finch. In the last video we got through another couple of people in the family tree. Sam, Gregory, Walter also, I believe, with some nice twists all around within every journey. So like I said, on to part 4 now. Let's continue on. Gus.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
She did, apparently. Do we have an upstairs here as well? No, just a little section. Oh, can I climb this? No way.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
So her mom has passed away as well, then?
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
It's crazy. Right, let's get this open.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
This is so cool.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Wow.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now
remembered.
pronounce you husband and wife. Make him cry.
Probably the nicest situation we've been in so far on someone's last day. Oh no. Never mind. We know what's gonna happen. Well, I know what's gonna happen. Don't know if yous know what's
When the
gonna
time
happen.
for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Oh no.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Oh.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
It's just kind of weird again, to be honest. So I'm assuming he got crushed by that big, like tiki stand they kind of have. Because when we walked past it, after we went past Walter's memorial, by the train tracks, we could see that it had fallen over. So even though it didn't show it fully falling on him, I want to go with that as my theory. Raise flag, breakfast, quiet time, sleep, trash, mop, mow yard, be a baby, jump rope, jumping jacks, push-ups, crunches, run to mailbox and back. Not a lot of cardio, kid. This would be such a cool layout if, for a house, if there wasn't so much tragedy attached to it. Holy Bible.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
She's Dawn. So her dad is Sam? Maybe? I think so.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Okay. Where to go that way now? Oh, no way. Can I go down this? I can. I have to go down it just for the laugh. That is deadly. How did we get in here again? That way. And there's nothing to the left, was there? Sometimes there's like a little different entrance. I just want to double check. I am aware of that entrance, like going outside, so don't worry, I didn't miss it. Pretty sure I'm wasting my time a little bit here though. Yeah. Sam. Right, back in we go. I'm trying to figure out how Edith is gonna kinda fall into this, or is she gonna be the exception? I hope so. Right. Sorry to do this to you, Edith. If you don't know, she's pregnant, so this isn't ideal.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Ooh. There's still so much of the house.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
God,
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
He died as well.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Oh, so they were homeschooled as well. Of course. Multiplication, family history, fact or fiction. A deadly view. Wouldn't get that
But it didn't last.
in a regular school. Odin Finch. The curse.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
There's no date for him yet. Anything else that I should be seeing? Nope.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
That is so cool. Imagine having that in the room, and it has like the footprints to match.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
So cool.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
So it's just Lewis and Dawn and Edie left to be written in, I think. This music is so nice. I hope this isn't copyright.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Oh yeah. Do have a little bump going.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
This is so sketchy. Swings and all. The little hookah setup.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Maybe he was just letting you in.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Okay. Check out his story.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh no.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
What's that?
wander.
Oh. Oh, it's me. Oh no.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth.
This is hard to do at the same time. I'm using
He'd
like
feel his way about.
my right stick for the fish and my left stick for the maze.
Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Oh, we're going 3D. That was already 3D. Why did I even say that? I don't know.
Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss,
He's gonna chop his hand off.
but he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
Radiant rainbows.
radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her
Oh, messed up.
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oof. Well, we're in the cannery now, or leaving it. Yeah. Imperial Palace. Oh yeah, that's true. They always get the
Began to
Chinese.
forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Oh, this is also us in front of us here.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, I don't want to go up here, but I know I have to.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising me.
Oh my god. At ease, at
His
ease.
queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Oh man.
Bend down his head.
Into a guillotine? Here we go.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Oof. Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. So that is Lewis done now. And we are down to just Edie and Dawn, I think. As well as ourselves, if that's something we get to. So I'm going to end this video here. If you did enjoy, please subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.